Sue.
Oh, boy named Sue.
And he must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some girl would giggle and I'd turn red. Some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fist got hard, my wit got keen. I roamed from town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and the stars. I'd search the honky-tonks and the bars, and I'd kill that man who gave me that awful name. It was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a drink. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog who named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent, gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood run cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, comes up with a knife and he cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth. We crashed through the wall and into the street. Could have gotten the blood, the mud, and the beer. Now I fought tougher men, and I can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss. He went for his gun and I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. He says, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gotta make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name and I said goodbye. And I knew you have to get tough or die. And it's that name that helped to make you strong. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in the eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue. What could I do? Well, I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him Pa and he called me his son. And I come away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm going to call him Big Jim Clark or something like that. Anything with Sue.
Did you made that up? Did yours?